Hello and welcome. So this is the last part of the MCQs on hemostasis. Uh, Next is all are true about blood coagulation except factor 10 is a part of both intrinsic and extrinsic pathway. This statement is true because factor 10 is part of the common pathway. Then extrinsic pathway is activated by contact of plasma with negatively charged surfaces. This is false because not an extrinsic but intrinsic pathway is activated by the contact of plasma with negatively charged surfaces. Extrinsic pathway is activated by the tissue thromboplastin. Then calcium is important for coagulation. Yes, it is very important along with phospholipids, and it acts as a cofactor for the coagulation reactions. Then intrinsic pathway can be activated in vitro. Again, this statement is correct. So in vitro means outside the body we can perform this intrinsic pathway, and by adding to plasma kaolin, then a phospholipid and calcium, we can perform the intrinsic pathway, and this is used to measure the activated partial thromboplastin time. Next, vitamin K is responsible for the carboxylation of which amino acid? So you have to remember this, that vitamin K causes the gamma carboxylation of the glutamate residues in the coagulation factors. Next, coagulation defects associated with increased coagulation are seen in increased protein C, no. Increased protein S, no. Increased antithrombin 3, no, because all these three, they have a role in anticoagulation and not increased coagulation. Then protein C resistance, yes, it will cause increased coagulation, and also in dysfibrinogenemia there will be abnormal clotting. So answer is D and E. All of the following are anticoagulant substances except antithrombin 3. Antithrombin 3 is anticoagulant. Then protein S, again it has anticoagulation properties. Then because it inactivates factor 5 and 8. Then von Willebrand factor, it has procoagulant properties because it stabilizes the factor 8. It is circulating the body bound to factor 8, so it helps in the coagulation, and also it helps in the primary hemostasis to cause the platelet adhesion. So VWF, it has procoagulant properties, not anticoagulant. Again, nitric oxide, it has anticoagulant properties. It is derived from the endothelium, and it has a anticoagulant properties. It also causes vasodilatation. Next, thrombomodulin thrombin complex prevents the clotting because, so you should know the function of thrombomodulin. So thrombomodulin, as the name suggests, thrombomodulin modulates the action of thrombin. So thrombin normally it has a coagulant action, procoagulant action, but thrombomodulin will modulate its action from being a procoagulant to a anticoagulant. And how does it do that? It does that because when thrombomodulin binds to thrombin, it will cause the thrombin to activate protein C, and protein C will then in turn inactivate factor 5 and 8. So this is the action of thrombomodulin, and this thrombomodulin is derived from the endothelium. So if you remember this function, then you can answer this MCQ. So thrombomodulin inhibits prothrombin activator, no. Complex activates antithrombin 3, no. Thrombomodulin thrombin complex activate heparin, no. It will activate protein C. So the complex removes thrombin and activates protein C, which will inactivate the factors 5 and 8. So the answer is D. Vitamin K associated clotting factors are, so the answer is factor 2, 7, 9 and 10. So the 9 and 10 is coming in option A. So answer is option A. All the endothelial cells produce thrombomodulin except those found in, so again this you have to learn. Now the thrombomodulin, the source of thrombomodulin is endothelium, but it is not seen in the cerebral microcirculation. So all the endothelial cells except those in the cerebral microcirculation will synthesize the thrombomodulin, and then thereafter they will express it on their surface. So this is important. Which of the following is a procoagulant protein? The answer is very straightforward. The answer is thrombin. So thrombin helps in the coagulation pathway, and thrombin will convert the fibrinogen to fibrin, and then that fibrin will get converted to stable fibrin by factor 13. And the other options, thrombomodulin derived from the endothelium, protein C, protein S. All these help in the anticoagulation, as I taught you earlier in the hemostasis topic. All the following are correct about thromboxane A2 except. So thromboxane A2, it is synthesized by the platelets and it is formed as a result of the cyclooxygenase pathway. Now first option is low dose aspirin inhibits its synthesis. It is true because aspirin inhibit the cyclooxygenase enzyme. Then thromboxane A2 causes vasoconstriction in blood vessel. True. It causes bronchoconstriction. True. Secreted by WBC, it is false because it's secreted by the platelets. So answer is D. Now next question. Which is not involved in local hemostasis? Fibrinogen, calcium, vitamin K and collagen. So out of these, vitamin K is just not involved in the local hemostasis. Now next question, which of the following is not synthesized in the liver? Factor 2nd, factor 7th, factor 9th and factor. The options are factor 2nd, then 7th, factor 9 and 8. So you should note that all the factors, they are synthesized in the liver, but exception is factor 8. Factor 8 is synthesized by the endothelial cells. In the liver also they are produced by the sinusoidal cells, the endothelial cells in the sinusoids, while all the other factors, they are synthesized in the hepatocytes. So answer is factor 8. The next question is this one. Okay, all these questions, they are from the other topic. So these were the questions which were from the topic of hemostasis. Now few more. Extrinsic pathway of clotting factor is measured by the prothrombin time, then APTT, bleeding time, clotting time. So you know the answer is prothrombin time. So prothrombin time will measure the extrinsic pathway of the coagulation pathway, while the intrinsic pathway, it is measured by the APTT. Now next is question number 18. Tissue thromboplastin activates. So it is simple because tissue thromboplastin is the initiating factor in the extrinsic pathway, and the extrinsic pathway, it activates factor 7. So this starts the extrinsic pathway of coagulation. So answer is A. Platelet adhesion to collagen is mediated by which of the following? So whenever there is injury to the endothelium get exposed. So the subendothelial collagen gets exposed, and the von Willebrand factor, they are which are attached to the subendothelial collagen, and they get exposed and they bind to the platelets, and this is known as platelet adhesion. So in fact, so the answer is von Willebrand factor because that is present on the collagen and it will attach the platelets, and that process is known as platelet adhesion. Now adhesion of platelet to collagen, it is due to, again the answer will be von Willebrand factor because it is present on the collagen, not factor 9, fibrinogen or fibronectin. The answer will be von Willebrand factor. And lastly, the clot formed after coagulation cascade, it is not stable unless extensive cross-linking occurred. This is done by plasmin, thrombin, factor 12 and high molecular weight kininogen. So the answer in this, amongst these options, the answer will be thrombin because thrombin causes the conversion of fibrinogen to fibrin, and it will also activate the factor 13 which will cause the cross-linking of the fibrin. So these were the sources of these questions, these 3 books which I took, and thank you very much. And the subscription, I have reached 1000 subscribers, so thank you so much for that, and your suggestions and feedbacks, they are most welcome, and you can suggest me the topics in the comment section. And soon I will be starting the community post also, since I've got 1000 subscribers now, so I will soon start the community post, and there I will be posting important concepts and as well as MCQs. Thank you so much.